Hey guys, Dave from Wolfhard Hobbying here, and today we're going to continue looking at painting the Genestealer Patriarch. In the previous video we did all the blue vents and his brain, so in this video, as you can obviously see, we're going to start with the back carapace part here. Now I have given it a base coat already of Vallejo's black gray, but this was just to darken it up and make sure that I covered all of the orange in a darker color. So our actual base color that we're going to use is Citadel's Incubi Darkness. I like this. It's a fairly dark color. It's got a little bit hint of green to it. So we're going to kind of be base coating again, but we're going to leave some of that black gray in some of the recesses, like in between the armor plates or the carapace plates where they meet on the back. Now we want to be careful with this color as we don't want to get it into these vents. Now you could have saved the vents or whatever they are for last and do this first, but you know, live and learn, I guess. So as you can see, it's very thin, and I used Liquitex airbrush thinner for this, and the reason I wanted it thin is I don't want it to be overly bright. So with it thinned down, it's kind of almost, it's thicker than a glaze, and with it being a base color as well, it's got a lot more pigment, but it's thinned enough that I can control how much color I'm getting. So again, I'm leaving some parts black, as in between both shoulders there's a kind of a little piece down there. I'm leaving that completely black. I'm not even going to try and do a base coat of it. Now again, like we were doing with the vents, I don't care about this color getting a little sloppy on the spines, as we're going to be painting over those. But I'm going to go over the whole model, skip ahead a little bit here, just so you don't have to watch me paint the whole thing. So here's the Incubi Darkness dried. As you can see, it's not a huge color change. You can see the little bit of green in there, and that's what I want. I didn't want a straight black and then highlight up black. I wanted to kind of complement the colors of the, as I keep calling them, the vents, the brain, but also give some contrast to the orange of the rest of the body. So our next highlight is going to be a layer highlight, and we're going to come in with a 2-to-1 mixture of Incubi Darkness and Sotek Green. So we're going to be applying this highlight as a layer highlight. It has been thinned down with again the Liquitex airbrush thinner. I really like using that over Lamaine medium. I just find it holds the colors better. So as you can see there, it kind of looks watery, but I wanted that effect because I wanted to make it almost a glaze consistency, as it will give us a lot more control over our color transitions, as well as it also allows us to build up the color. So if you want it darker in some areas, well, then you just apply a second or third coat up to how you want it, and then in other areas you can just leave it thinner so it's a little bit darker. So with this one, we're covering all the major parts of the armor plates again, but we're not going as far as we did with the Incubi Darkness. I want to leave quite a bit of the Incubi Darkness coming off from those overlapping plates, just to give us again that nice color transition. So when you are working with thin paints, you want to make sure that it's not too thin and you're not using water, or else it could pool in areas and you not get the color you want, as well as it could dip into those smaller recesses with the vents in that, and really distort your colors. So again, I'm just going to jump ahead here and we'll get started with the next step. So here, with it all dry, you can see we now have a nice dark green turquoise color, which is what I want to go for because I feel it ties these like the fleshy vent areas in his brain, kind of ties it together and gives a good separation from the orange. So next I'm adding another drop of Sotek Green to our mixture, making it a 1-to-1 mixture of Incubi Darkness and Sotek Green. Now this one here is going to be, it's kind of like a layer highlight, but I'm not going all over the panel. I'm just catching some of the parts on the carapace here, around those vents, the back parts of where those armor plates are overlapping each other. And I'm selecting just the higher portions of this model, as where he kind of curves down towards the tail at the back. I'm going to leave those armor pieces darker, as I feel that's not where my light is coming from. So again, it's all dependent on where your light source is coming from, on how you want to highlight this. If you're doing zenithal style, well, then you'll want to make sure that a lot of those armor plates are kind of darker than what I've done. But I'm kind of doing an overtop lighting, but more in an arc type of way than, say, straight down on top of them. So again, you want to be selective of where you're going with this color, as if you highlight too much, I think it would take away from the look of the model, and really I feel with this one it sells the curvature a little bit more. So as you can see here, I'm just doing the back parts and then kind of coming up along the edge with a thick line and creating a V at those corners, just to kind of give it a shadowy cast on those corners. But it's up to you on how you want to do that. So I'm going to go over the model and I'm going to get this highlight all done. So with that highlight done, you can barely see it on camera here. It's not really visible, but I did the top parts of the crown. I didn't go too far close to the brain, as I don't want the color to be mixing in too much here. So our next highlight is going to be a very thin edge highlight, and we're going to come in with just straight Sotek green. You could probably do a 2 Sotek to 1 Incubi if you wanted to, but I felt on this kind of model, I think that transition wouldn't really help too much. It wouldn't hinder the model or the paint job, but I don't think it would help the paint job as well. So this one, we're just doing thin lines as much as possible, and we're just going to catch kind of the corners, the edges of the carapace up near the arms, the back parts near the spikes, and things like that. You can do this as far as you want. Like here, I'm kind of just doing a broad stroke on that area, as it's very small, like it gets thin. So I just decided to highlight the whole area. But yeah, just you want to make sure that with this color, you're just hitting areas just to give a little bit more definition to those details. Like these two vents here, they've got kind of like an X pattern there. So I wanted to show that off, to show that like there's kind of a peak to that area. And if you left it, it would get lost on the tabletop. So just picking out these details with the Sotek green really makes the model pop while it's on the table. At least in my opinion, it does. But yeah, so you can take this highlight as far as you want. Again, you can do multiple layers if you wanted to. It's all up to you guys. I'm just kind of giving you how I would do things. For the crown here, I'm just going to hit the tops near the spike, and then kind of work down a little bit, just to give that area some definition as well. But that's it, guys. That's how I'm going to be highlighting the Carapace armor. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on, any suggestions on what you'd like to see me paint, what you'd like to see me cover at all. Any suggestions for the channel. If you haven't already, or you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on videos that I post. As always, there will be a link to my Facebook and Patreon accounts in the description below, so check those out if you want. Again, guys, I want to thank you for watching the video, and have yourselves a great day.